Hello everyone, back with another test. Now from the NEET 1, dual nature of matter and radiation. Many of you were asking for the modern physics test, so I have taken this today. So this is a very good paper for practice. There are few questions which are quite calculative, otherwise are normal to do. So this is my analysis. You can see 18 I have regarded as easy, 9 as a medium, and 3 questions as tough. So it's a very nice paper for all of you to practice. And based on my assessment, what I feel a good score here must be greater than 86 marks or 90 marks, you can say, and a very good score would be something greater than 110, because this is a paper you should score barely 1 or 2 which are very much calculative. You should be able to do if you are very much prepared, and you must be prepared. It's a matter of time that the dates have not been announced, but you are prepared. You are preparing for this exam from so much time. And just remember one thing, all of you who feel difficulty in this, please refer to the revision videos I have made for these topics last year. These are very nicely made videos which covers all the concepts, and you can solve all these 30 questions based on those short videos. So do watch them and practice. Practice will make you perfect. Now let's see what is in the paper. Question number 1. With respect to the photoelectric effect experiment, match the entries of column 1 with the entries of the column 2. If frequency is increased, keeping intensity and the work function constant. If frequency is increased, you know photon energy increases, therefore Kmax increases and stopping potential will increase. So definitely A will match with P. Saturation current, because the intensity is the same, so we will assume saturation photocurrent almost remains the same, and stopping potential increases, Kmax also increases, stopping potential remains same, so we are P and R. So A matches with P and R, and that is, now we are left with 2 options. And the difference is in the C option, so let's directly go with the C. If the distance between anode and cathode increases, if the distance between the anode and the cathode increases, it doesn't changes the energy of photons, so Kmax and stopping potential will remain same, so P and R won't come. So P and R won't come, and what we have here, okay, here Q and D, I think there's some printing error here, let me check. And if the distance between anode and cathode increases, saturation photocurrent will increase. It cannot happen, it cannot increase on increasing this particular distance, so Q will also not be there, Q, P are not there, stopping potential remains same. That is going to be the answer here. So C will be only S, so going with it, go with option A. That's the correct answer. You can match other also. I have just done in the way you should do in exam using the options. The work function of sodium surface is 2 and aluminium is 4.2. The two metals are illuminated with appropriate radiation so as to cause photo emission. Then the threshold frequency, you know the work function is less for sodium, so threshold frequency for sodium would be lesser. That is going to be correct. So first option is correct. Of sodium more, it cannot, will have same. So clearly you know what we have, simply phi is equal to h nu naught. So the one which has the more phi will have the value of that nu naught. Now next one, if alpha, beta and gamma rays carry the same momentum which has the longest wavelength, so this is de Broglie thing, L lambda is equal to h by p. So if the momentum is same, we know if p is same, lambda will also be same, so they will have the same wavelength. Directly you can take, that's an easy one for you. Next one, two particles have the same mass, but particle A has a charge of positive q and B has a charge of positive 2q. They are accelerated from rest through the same potential. So now the de Broglie wavelength you know is h by p. We wrote it is h by mv or h by root 2 mk, and k is q times v. So potential is same and they have the mass is same, so lambda is 1 by root q. You can directly say that the one having the lesser charge will have the more wavelength, so lesser charge is for A, so A will have the more wavelength, so which will have the longer wavelength particle A, because it has the smaller momentum. You can make it on the basis of that. So particle A, it will have the because it has the, what we can say, it has a smaller momentum, yes, not the greater momentum, lambda would have been lesser, so go with option C in this case. Next one, a photoelectric experiment with light of lambda, the fastest electron speed is v. If the exciting wavelength is changed to this, the speed of the fastest ejected electron will become okay. So now what we have in the first case, this Kmax half mv square is equal to hc by lambda minus phi. That is what you can say. Now what happens in the next case, the half m v dash square would be, it is 3 lambda by 4, so hc upon 3 lambda by 4 minus phi, so it is 4 times hc by 3 lambda minus phi. Okay, now I can directly make it out, this 4 by 3 hc by lambda minus phi is definitely greater than 4 by 3 of hc by lambda minus phi. So what I can say, half mv dash square would be greater than 4 by 3 times half mv square for sure. So what we have, half m cancelled, v dash square is greater than 4 by 3 v square. So going by this, v dash must be greater than 2 by root 3 v, or you can say this thing. So this is a very standard style of asking the question. You should do it in always like that. Always remember, if you double the frequency or you make the wavelength half, k max increases by more than 2 factor. That is the question that is being usually asked. It is just a improvised version of that particular question that I have solved many times in those Abhyas tests. If you have seen those videos, even in my revision videos, you will find it. The work function of a certain metal is given, phi is given, then the k max when it is excited by 5000 angstrom is going to be, so better it is in EV, so convert it in EV. So first of all, phi is 3.31 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules, so convert it into EV, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So this goes 3.31 upon 1.6, so it would be 2 point something. I can make it out. It would be, what we can say, 1632, and this is 11, so 2.07. I think it would be the phi, not this. So this is not going to be the option for sure. 248 not going to be the option for sure. Now k max, so k max is hc by lambda. Hc by lambda is what we have, 1240 upon nanometer. I do 500 nanometer minus 2.07, so it would be 124 by 50, 12.4 by 5. That is 2 point, what I have, this is a 12.4, so 2.48. So 2.48 minus 2.07, wait a minute. So what we are left with, we are left with an option of 0.41 EV that is given, so go with option B. So just this chapter is all about calculations, as I always say to my students. A and B are two metals with threshold frequencies given. The incident photons of energy are incident and then. So this is 0.825 EV. So make sure what is the photons frequency, or better you can check the work function of the both, whatever you think is better. I think it's better to calculate its frequency. So what we know, 0.825 EV would be equal to h nu. H you know is a 4.14. I also forgot, 4.14 into 10 to the power minus 15 EV seconds into the nu. So its frequency nu would be 0.825 upon 4.14 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. So it would be approximately, it would be lesser than, it would be slightly lesser than 2 into 10 to the power 15 hertz. So I think it will cross this but won't cross this, so it will be able to take out from A alone, not from B. So go for option B here. Next one. The energy flux of sunlight reaching the surface of the earth is given. The number of photons per square meter incident on the earth per second is. So you are given the wavelength of average wavelength. So energy of single photon is 1240 upon 550. This is in EV, or you can say it is into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So the number of photons striking per unit area, let's say that would be n. So n photons are striking per unit area, per you can say per meter square area. That would be equal to 1.388 into 10 to the power 3. So just do the calculation now. N would be 1.388 into 10 to the power 22 into 550 over 1240 into 1.6. So what we are left with, this would be 2 point something, 3.2 something. So if I do it, it would be in 10 to the power 21 for sure. That I can easily make it out from here. But there are two options, need to do some more calculations. So do it. You don't have any option. I have to do it with you also. So 1.388 into 55, 124 into 1.6, better write it like this only, into 10 to the power 22. So what we have, this would be 210 and then 14, so 2.2. This would be what we 110, 300, so it would be 2.25 something. I can make it out. So 2.25 into 1.6 if I do, so it would be 16 5s are 80, 16 2s are 32, and 8 is 40, 32 and 4 36 something, or 3.6 something, that would be the better, upon 1.388 into 10 to the power 22. So it is 13.8 upon 3.6 approx you can do. So the approx value would be, I think it won't cross 5 for sure, so it would be 3.838 into 10 to the power 21 photons per meter square per second. That is the most closest one I can get. Next, the difference between kinetic energy of photoelectrons emitted from a surface by the light of this and this will be, okay. So what would be the difference in the kinetic energy? So what we can say in the first case, K would be hc by lambda, or what should I write? It would be 1240 upon 250 minus 5. In the second case, k dash would be 1240 upon 500 minus 5. So difference would be k minus k dash, and this difference what we can have, 5 will cancelled, so it would be 1240 upon 250 minus 1240 upon 500. So calculate this one, this would be double of that, so I can do this 1240 upon 500, that would be the answer. And this answer would be 124 by 50, 12.4 by 5, that we did 2.48 EV we did some time back, so it would be 2.47 EV, that would be the appropriate one. Next one, radiations of two photons energy twice and 10 times the work function are incident. So in the first case, k1 max would be energy is 2 phi minus 5, that is 5. In the second case, k2 max would be, it is 10 phi minus 5, that is 9 phi. So kinetic energy has become 9 times, therefore the speed will become 3 times, you can directly say, so it would be 1:3. I am doing it directly, I assume you would do no kinetic energy is proportional to square of speed. The max wavelength of radiation that can produce photoelectric effect, that is the threshold wavelength, is 200 nano. The maximum kinetic energy by the wavelength 100 nanometer would be, so k max would be 1240 over 100 minus 1240 over 200, which will give you 1240 over 200, and this value you all remember is 6.2 eV. Go with option B, that's the answer for you. Next one, the photosensitive surface is receiving the light at the rate of this, the number of photons received per second, the same thing that we did, 1240 over 500 into n, that would be equal to 10 to the power minus 8, and let's say convert it into EV, what we will say 1 EV is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So that joule everything will cancel, n would be 10 to the power minus 8 into 500 over 1.6 into 1240 into 10 to the power minus that would be plus 19. So on doing this, what you will be getting, it is 500 into 10 to the power 11, and what you have 1240 into 1.6, so it would be better I write it as 5000 into 10 to the power 10, and this would be approximately, this will be close to 2000 if you do the calculation, so it would be 2.5 into 10 to the power 10. So go with option A, that is the most appropriate here. Next one, so this was one of the question. Next, if a source of power 4 kilowatt produces 10 to the power 20 photon per second, the radiation part of the spectrum called, so what we have, 4 kilowatt produces 10 to the power 20, so 10 to the power 20 into the energy of a single photon E is equal to 4 into 10 to the power 3, so E is equal to 4 into 10 to the power minus 17 joules, or we know E is equal to h nu, so nu would be 4 into 10 to the power minus 17 upon 6.634 into 10 to the power minus 34, so it is 4 upon 6.634 into 10 to the power 17, so it would be approximately 40 upon, what we can say, it is 6.634 into 10 to the power 16 hertz. So 10 to the power 16 hertz, so that is the value that we are getting, so it's approximately 6 point something into 10 to the power 16 hertz, and this frequency, you know, it lies in definitely in X-rays. Even that the better solution would have been to find the lambda, because we know E is equal to hc by lambda, so lambda would be hc by E. So what we can say, hc is 1240 and E is 4 in 10 to the power minus 17, and converted into that EV, so it becomes it would be multiplied like this, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 there, that would be the way. So what we can do here, this would be in nanometer, so 1240 into 1.6 upon 4, and this is 10 to the power, what I can write, minus 2. Okay, so what we are left with, this is 0.4, so it would be 12.4 into 0.4 nanometer, so it is what we can say, it is 0.5 something, or we can say 5 something, 5 nanometer something, so it is something 0.45 angstrom something, so it would be in X-rays for sure, you can directly say. Anything in order of 0.1 angstrom to 100 angstrom, you take it in the X-rays, that would be the appropriate answer. The resistance of a discharge tube is, so now in a discharge tube you don't have that conducting electrons like that in a wire, so it is not going to be a linear one, it is a non-linear one, so better go with the non-ohmic one in a discharge tube, where also you know that VI curves, you know, for that photoelectric effect, you know, it is not a straight line like a Ohm's law. Next one, an electron is accelerated through a potential difference of V volt, the speed of electron would be, you know, the it is accelerated through a speed of by v, so the kinetic energy would be qv ev. So ev is half mv square, so v would be root 2 ev by m. That would be the answer, root 2 ev by m. Go with option B. Next one. Time taken by electron to come out, you know the photoelectric effect is instantaneous and the time taken is of the order of 10 to the power minus 9 seconds. So better 10 to the power minus 10 that you can do. It's an instantaneous process we usually write. Next, moving electron has a numerical relation, lambda is h then. So lambda is, you know, is h upon mv. So here it means mv is equals to 1. So that means mass is equal to 1 by v. That would be the answer. Okay, but v is also 1 by m. Okay, so better look at all the options, don't be in a hurry. So both options are more appropriate. You have to take the best possible option. Best possible is not A and B, it is C. UV radiation 6.2 falls on aluminium of work function 4.2. So you can do yourself calculation. K max is 2 ev directly, and 2 ev means 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. It's an easy calculation for all of you. Next one. When light of 300 nano falls on a photoelectric emitter, electrons are liberated for another emitter. 600 nm is sufficient for liberating photoelectron. The ratio of the work function is, because the lambda has become doubled, that means the work function will become half, because it is more easy to get it from the second. So it would be 2:1, not 1:2. The first one is the higher one. Next one. Energy of a photon is inversely proportional to wavelength, you all know. Next, an atom of mass m which is in the state of rest emits a photon of lambda wavelength. As a result, atom will deflect with kinetic energy. So you know it is at rest. So initial momentum is 0, so final will also be 0. Now photon carries a momentum h by lambda. So now it will also carry a momentum p, which would be equal to h by lambda, and this p is equal to root 2 mk. That would be equal to h by lambda, because the total momentum must be 0 from conservation of angular momentum, no external forces acting. So kinetic energy will become h square over lambda square, and 2m will be multiplied. So what we are getting, which is the option, this is the P option. That's a very common question asked many times in many examinations. The momentum of photon of energy 1 MeV is, we know P is equal to E by C, you know this. So 1 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13, 3 into 10 to the power 8. So 1.6 upon 3, that would be 0.5 something into 10 to the power, what we will have, minus 21. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 22 is the most appropriate out of all these options. Next one, stopping potential required to reduce the photoelectric current to 0. So stopping potential is is a K max, we directly write as E times Vs. So it depends on K max, and it is not, it is we can say directly proportional to wavelength. No, it can be said to be proportional to the frequency of the incident radiation, and I doubt whether you can call it as direct proportionality, because in direct proportionality doubling means it should also double, but you can say it as a positive correlation, y equal to mx plus c type thing. So out of the options we can say that is the most appropriate thing. So it increases uniformly with the frequency. That would be the better thing. Directly proportional I don't think would be the right option, but that is the only option which is most appropriate out of that. An alpha particle and a proton are accelerated from rest by some potential difference. After this, their de Broglie wavelength is this. The ratio would be, so lambda is what we still wrote some time back, root 2 mqv. Both have the same v. So alpha and proton. So what we'll have, lambda proton to lambda alpha. That would be, you will do reverse m alpha q alpha over mp qp. So m alpha is 4 times mp and q alpha is 2 times. So its ratio would be root 8. So we can directly say the ratio would be root 8 is to 1. So the nearest integer would be 3. That would be the answer here. Next one. In a historical experiment to determine Planck's constant, of metal surface was irradiated with light of different wavelengths. Emitted photoelectron energy was measured by applying a stopping potential. Relevant data was given the value of this. Planck's constant is, basically what you do, you will plot a graph from this and you will try to get it. So what we will do, we will plot a graph. What we have, the graph between what we say, so this is Vs versus lambda. So what we will have, if we draw this curve Vs versus lambda, it would be 1 by lambda. That would be the better thing, because what we have, EVS K max is equal to Hc by lambda minus phi. So Vs can be written as Hc upon E lambda minus phi by E. So we will plot a curve between the two like that, and we'll try to calculate from the value of the slope. So it would be better to calculate it from the value of the slope here. So what we will have here, so it would be not an easy task, but let me try. So first try 1 by lambda would be, let's say, some factor. This would be 1 upon 0.5 I can write, or 2 I can write. At this value, this is 0.4. So this is 0.4. Put the value here. Now 1 upon 0.4 would be 2.5, and for this is 1. This is 1. And for 0.3 we will have 3.33 something, 1 upon 0.3, or you can write it as 10 by 3, and here you have it as 2.0, and this would be the graph like this. So we have to calculate the slope, and the slope is hc by e. So calculate the slope. Let's say you can take any 2 points. Let me try to calculate from these 2 points, let's say. So from these 2 points the difference is 0.6 here, and it is 0.6, and here it is what we have 0.5, but because it was in the micrometer thing, so it would be into 1 by lambda we are doing, so it would be 10 to the power 6. That would be the better thing. And this is equal to hc by e, and hc, you know, is what we have, the value of h we have to calculate, sorry, and c is 3 into 10 to the power 8, and e is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So what would be the value of h from this data? From this data, what we can do, 6 into 1.6 upon 3 5s are 15, and this would be 10 to the power 14 here. This is 10 to the power minus 19 here. So 19 and 14 is 10 to the power minus 33. 6 6 are 96. 6 1s are 6. 6 and 9, what we have, 15.6 over 15. Okay. Oh, there's something we have done it wrong. Let me wait. It is 6. 6 6 are 36, or 16 6 are 96, so 9.6, that would be the better thing. So 9.6 upon 15, so it is 3.2 over 5, so better do it. It will come out as 6.4 into 10 to the power minus 34. That is what we are getting from this particular data. So go with the option B, with this is the appropriate option from here. Next one. The graph between frequency of incident radiation and stopping potential for a given photosensitive material is like this. What information can be obtained? The value of the intercept and the potential axis, this thing. So what we know, the value that we still I wrote, it was h nu by e minus h nu naught by e, or phi by e, you can say. So at this particular point, what we know, the frequency is 0, so this term is going to be 0. So this intercept gives the value of h nu naught by e, that is phi by e. So from this we can calculate the work function, or let me check the options. Yes, work function, that would be the answer. Next one. The stopping potential in an experiment and photoelectric effect is 1.5. The maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectron would be, that's the easiest one, K max is EVS, 1.5 EV. Convert into joule, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. So 16 into 15, what we have, 16 5s are 80, 16 1s are 16, 24, so 2.4 into 10 to the power minus 19. That would be the answer. Go with option C. Next one. A broken ligament is being welded back in place using 20 millisecond pulses from a 0.5 watt laser operating at a particular wavelength. The number of photon in 5 pulses will be. So what we have in a single pulse, the energy would be 0.5 into 20 into 10 to the power minus 3 joules. So in 5 such pulses, this is the total energy divided by energy of one particular photon, that would be hc by lambda. So it is 1240 upon 632, and converted into joule it would be like this. So this would be the number. So this number would be, now do the calculation, not going to be easy, but that is what we have to do. 10 into 5 into 632, 1240 into 1.6, and this would be 10 to the power 19 here. The 0 and 0 goes here, and now what we are left with, it's not an easy thing to be left with, but just try to check with the powers. So if I were try to check with the powers, 6 5s, it would be 3000 something, it would be again 124 into 1.6, it won't be greater than 200, so it would be, let's say, 3000 upon 200, it would be 15 into 10 to the power 19. So the order would be what we can say, it would be, okay, 3000, and this is 200. So the order is going to be, and I missed 10 to the power minus 3, that is my mistake. Okay, so 10 to the power 16, so 15 into 10 to the power 16, that means 1.5 into 10 to the power 17. That would be the most appropriate thing that I can do from my approximations. Now it depends on you how much you are confident on your calculation to do such approximations. Next one, you are using some light, 1400 nanometer. Which of the following semiconductor is to be used having band gap as? Okay, so simply you have to just see Hc by lambda is equal to that phi, and that phi, or you can say that is the band gap Eg here, so that it can take out the electron from it. So 1240 over 1400, so it would be what we will have, it would be to band gap as in a photodetector. So it is 1240 upon 1400, so it is approx less than 1 eV. I think it is less than 1 eV. Okay, but the data is something different. The question has crisscrossed us. Let's try 6.63 into 3 10 to the power minus 34 and 3 into 10 to the power 8. That is the same thing. Data is same, I suppose. And this is 1400 nano 10 to the power minus 9. So if you do this, I think it would be less than 1 eV. So most appropriate is approx to 1 eV. It would be lesser than 1 eV for sure, no point in it. So only 1 eV could be the better thing we can say. The photoelectric effect establishes that. Well, let me check the question again. In a photodetector, which of the following is to be used having band gap as? I don't think that there is more appropriate explanation for that. Next one. The photoelectric effect establishes light travels in the form of quanta of energy. Yes, it proved that quantum theory of light. Light travels in the form of transverse in no, not the wave nature. Longitudinal no. So it is simply the quanta of light E. So energy delivered by radiation is n times h nu. That is what it is being delivered. Always it is delivered in the form of packets. So this was today's test I did. So as I told you, please watch the revision videos on this chapter. I have made a very beautiful videos. If you watch them, you would be able to master those concepts with your practice, of course. Thanks for watching.